Alrighty, we're here joined by Houston Dash head coach Fabrice Gautrat. Fabrice, we'll just start with opening remarks, please, following today's match against Angel City.
Yeah, I think in certain phases of the game it was pretty good. I thought in the first half we didn't stretch their line enough. We also in defensive transition, which we knew how they were going to score. Both situations were transition moments, so stopping it early. And also, if you look at the second goal, a ball's kind of trickling down. We don't clear it. We try to play out of it, and then I also got to look back. But if you look at the second phase, they cross it in the first goal. They cross it, it trickles out, and then they shoot from long range. And there's a lot of things that we need to get better at. So look, frustrating. But if you look at especially the totality of the game, you definitely saw moments of dominance. But again, we need in this league, you have to be better in defensive transition. So yeah. Those are my 2 cents.
Thank you for that. We'll go to questions here with Rudy. If you have a question on Zoom, please use the raise my hand option.
Hey, Fabrice. What was your message to the team at halftime, going down 2-0?
One was we definitely need to stretch the last line. I said we're gonna change things up because we needed to. That was it. Also had a couple knocks this week where some players had to be out and players have to step up, and I think some of them did, which was good. But I think I did talk about the box defending, and then I talk about unacceptable players beating other players on top of the box to have an easy shot on goal, like just 1,000% unacceptable. That's it. So that was kind of the message, and you saw a response, which was good. But one thing we've talked about a lot, oftentimes it's too dependent on my voice and my response to then changing things. And so that needs to come more from within, to be honest.
You talked a little bit about those injuries, but how do you build consistency in the back line with those absences?
Yeah, look, it's tough, but we preach we have depth, and I thought both Maggie and Westfall had a great game, and they did their job to the extent that they could. Obviously, putting one in and one out, Maggie obviously has done really well at the 6, so you take her out of a spot where she's been just more comfortable in. So but at the end of the day, I can't have those players healthy, so we got to adjust, and we thought that was the best thing to do.
And what changes did you see after Oliveri's goal?
I saw it even before. You could build a momentum. I mean, the first 5 minutes in the second half, we get a ball in behind on the left side, and it's an early ball across to just tap it in, And even before the Oliveri goal, I mean, we had a one-on-one with Messiah. We had another one with Yaz. Like, the momentum was building, And so, I think it was just it was almost like a result of all the pressure that we were putting on in the second half. So, it would have been nice to have a little more quality in the final third, but overall we created, I thought, a good amount of chances. So, yeah.
I guess just my final question, just your biggest takeaway, from the match despite the result.
I would say attention to detail. I think there's still things that we need to iron out, and I'll take full responsibility. But there's too many detail. Being able to be switched on at this level is really, really important. So, and then I would say the last piece is, you can have the ball you want, but A, you got to get behind the last line, and B, you got to make sure you defend the transition moments better. So those are a few things we need to get better at.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Anything on Zoom before we wrap up? Theo, go ahead.
Hi, Fab. Just wanted to hear more about the 11 selection, the shape, and Westphal Ordonez coming on at halftime. Just more, if you could talk a little bit more about the 11 and the personnel changes.
Personnel changes prior to the game or at halftime?
Both. So Westphal, Graham, Ordonez, and then kind of like how Ordonez was feeling when she came off.
Well, I will say if you look at kind of the injury report, there were things that were just outside of our control. So we had to make changes, and we felt that was the best thing. If you look at our back line, Maggie and Westphal going into the back line. I mean, Westphal has an enormous amount of experience, and I thought she did really well, especially in that higher outside back position. And so, and I felt Dee did what she needed to do, but we felt we needed someone with someone that could stretch the back line a little more, and so that was just what the game called for. So that's kind of the decision we made.
Thanks, Fab. Appreciate it. Unlucky tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wrap up with that one. Fabrice, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.